You're not getting a BBL because it's what you want. You're getting a BBL because society told you it's what you want. You've just convinced yourself that it's something that you want to rationalize getting it. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, it's Quay and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the rise of the BBL and how it's literally become the new crack. Before we start this video, definitely subscribe to my channel. It would mean so much to me to have you part of my community. But yeah, without further ado, let's talk about it. So if you have a TikTok or an Instagram, Twitter, whatever, you would have seen pictures of celebrities or influencers getting a BBL and this rise of BBLs being the new beauty standard that everybody wants to achieve. And I think that's extremely problematic. Hear me out. I'm all for getting surgery if that's truly what you want to do. However, I think it's easy to confuse what you want to do versus what you're being told you want to do. Two very different things. Let me explain. So, on social media, we're force-fed this beauty standard. We're constantly being shown models who have the BBL body, the perfect hourglass figure, the boobs, the butt, everything, perfect. Fashion Nova example. Any clothing, Instagram clothing store, IG baddie moment, they all have that kind of body. And we're being shown this repeatedly, constantly. We're being basically told that this is what beauty is. So at some point you start to believe that that is what beauty is, and then you hear people's stories saying that, you know, this is what they've always wanted and it makes them happy, and then you start to internalize that. And you're like, you know what, yeah, I have always wanted that. This will make me happy. When in reality, it's not the case for most people. For some people, yes, this is like what they've always wanted and it makes them like super happy and they just never regret it. But for most people, on the other hand, this is not something that they want. It's something that was forced upon them. I just think being an 18-year-old and getting a BBL is a horrible idea because your body isn't done developing yet. Your body is literally still developing and you're putting it through so much trauma when you're getting that kind of surgery. Then on top of that, BBLs have the highest mortality rate out of any cosmetic surgery. 1 in 3,000 people die from a BBL. That's so scary. Those numbers are from board-certified plastic surgeons. A lot of people are going overseas to get BBLs because it's cheaper, and most doctors overseas aren't board-certified. So you guys are basically putting your lives in someone else's hands for what? To be told that you're beautiful? And it isn't your fault. I blame social media. I definitely do. And this constant glamorization of people like the Kim K's who have that body, the Fashion Nova models. It's just the constantly being force-fed this image that makes us feel like this is something that we have to do. I think this is very prevalent for people who've grown up really skinny and who've been picked on their whole entire lives for being thin. Being called twig and anorexic growing up definitely affected me negatively. It was never a good feeling when I would go to like family gatherings or even just like go to school and people would just like make fun of me for being skinny because I literally could not control it. To the point where I would like try to force myself to overeat to gain weight and I wouldn't gain weight and I would get so sad. Being told all the time you need to eat more. Being called sickly. It hurts. It gets to you after a while. Trust me, I hated it growing up. And I still do, and I didn't realize that it affected me so much until I wanted to get a BBL. And I really had to ask myself, why are you doing this? And I told myself, because it's something that I've always wanted, I'll fill in my pants more and I'll be happier. And I was like, is this something that you really have always wanted? Or is it something that that you forced yourself to always want? And when I asked myself that question, I came to the realization that it was the latter. I definitely forced myself into believing that this was something that I've always wanted and this was something that would make me happy. Because it's what I was told on social media, it's what I was fed, this ideal that the BBL would just like fix all my problems. People would like me more, guys would like me more if I did this, and that's not the case. Let me tell you, these dudes literally will sleep with anything. Have you seen their baby mothers? Like, have you seen what these men will sleep with anything? I implore you, please, 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 second guess getting this BBL if you're going to get it. And if you do choose to get it, make sure you go to a board-certified plastic surgeon who knows what he's doing and ask questions. don't stop asking questions. And if the surgeon gets annoyed with you asking questions, he is not the right surgeon for you. He is not the right surgeon for you. And make sure also when he's explaining to you what he's doing, he's injecting the fat into the subcutaneous layer of your butt and not into the muscle, because if he injects the fat into the muscle, the chances of you dying increase because you're more likely to get a pulmonary fat embolism. And that's basically where the fat travels up to your heart or your lungs and kills you instantly. I don't know. I just don't understand how we got to this point where this was what the beauty standard was, and risking our lives to achieve it is okay. Because I don't think it is okay. I just don't think risking your life to achieve any standard of beauty is ever okay. Because beauty standards change constantly. I think in the next 20 years, we'll be looking back and asking ourselves why we did this. And there'll be a new beauty standard that's around, and people will be running to achieve that. It's like, when does it ever end? When do we just stop and say, enough is enough? I am beautiful as is, and I don't have to change anything about myself. I don't have to go under the knife to prove that I'm beautiful. Because you are. You're beautiful. I don't know. It's definitely something that's very interesting. It's a scary surgery, and I just don't want people getting it for the wrong reasons. I see a lot of people getting it and thinking it's going to fix their problems. It's going to make them happier. It's going to get them the guy of their dreams. And it's like, no, it's not. It's not, because trust me, if the guy of your dreams is going to want you for you. He's not going to want you for your butt. He could care less about that. He's going to want you for you. And I think just growing up and being picked on constantly for the way you look definitely makes you want to get it. It makes you insecure about the way you look. So of course you want to get a BBL. I was the same way. And it really took me fighting myself and like falling in love with me again to realize that it's not something that I want. And I love the way I am. I love the way I look. And a surgery that literally has a 1 in 3,000 mortality rate doesn't sit well with me, and it definitely scares me. I don't want to discourage anyone from getting a BBL. Well, I kind of do. If I'm going to be brutally honest, I would like to discourage you guys from getting it. But if you do choose to go forth and get it, I respect your choice and I respect your decision to do that. I just want you to make informed choices. Make sure your doctor does lots and lots of BBLs. He's board certified and he really knows what he's doing, because this surgery is literally life or death. And I would hate for you to get something and regret it later on. The moment you place your beauty in somebody else's hands, they basically control you because they determine what is beautiful, and you're at their beck and call, to say the least. So definitely do it for yourself and no one else at all. I think you guys are all beautiful. Doesn't matter how skinny you are, how big you are. Doesn't matter if you're shaped like a pear. You're beautiful. You really are. And F society's definition of beauty. You are the definition of beauty. These doctors don't care about you. It's literally, so many people are waiting in line to get a BBL that when you go into the doctor's office to actually do that, it's lines of people waiting to do it. People being wheeled out in wheelchairs like clockwork, in and out, quick and go. And it's just, it's scary. It's seeing how many people are like doing this and doing these surgeries that they can't afford. Most people finance their BBLs, and that is another conversation in itself, because I have my qualms about that. I really do. I have my reservations about financing plastic surgery. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that yet. I don't know. We should talk about that later. But definitely comment down below what you guys think about everything that's going on with this BBL epidemic that's going on, and whether or not you're pro BBL or you're not pro BBL. I definitely want to hear what you guys have to say. Even if you disagree with me, definitely comment down below. I love reading your comments. And until next time, stay pretty. And remember, if no one told you, I'm going to tell you, you're beautiful. It doesn't matter what your size is. You're beautiful. Bye.